Federal High Court in Abuja has made an order of interim freezing and forfeiture of over 228.4 million naira linked to former Governor Theodore Orji of Abia State to the federal government on allegations of money laundering. The money is domiciled in a bank account of a contracting firm allegedly used by the former governor, his family, and other government officials to siphon public funds. Justice Emeka Nwete, in a ruling on an ex parte motion moved by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC's) lawyer, Fadila Yusuf, also directed the EFCC to make publication of the order on its website. According to Mr. Nwete's order, interested parties should show cause within 14 days of the publication of the order. The judge adjourned the matter until February 3 for a report of compliance. And a report that Mr. Orji also served as a two-term senator representing Abia Central District before retiring from active politics. He was also the former governor of Abia State. The motion dated 30 December 2024 and filed on 2nd January by Ms. Yusuf, who was also brought under the court's inherent jurisdiction. Yusuf said EFCC was investigating them for the allegations following an intelligence report received by the commission against Mr. Orji. According to her, preserving the money pending investigation and of persecution is necessary. Quickly, I'd love to ask you, Ambassador Dr. Ekie, about this. We know that Theodore Uzor-Kalu was the former governor of Abia State.
Theodore Orji.
Theodore Orji.
Yes.
Okay. He was the former governor of Abia State, and he was also a senator 2 times in Abia State.
Yeah.
You know, and then this money laundering, in quotes, alleged money laundering was it happened while he was in office, you know, and then it got to the point. This issue has actually been going on. It's Uzor-Kalu that we're actually talking about here. Theodore.
Yes.
Yes. Then it got to a point that he has been in office during this period, and this money laundering was actually going on while he was still in office up till now, you know, and then the court has forfeit the order to seize this money until further notice. But actually wanted to ask you if the fact that he's been in office is actually a detriment, is actually a prerequisite to siphon money, as because these people are public figures that we put in office to actually oversee the affairs that we do, to oversee the affairs of the state, if I'm not mistaken, because everybody cannot come out and make declarations. So we have heads that come to speak on our behalf, which are the governors that govern the state, that directs the affairs of the state. You know, as a governor at the time, this were certain things that he actually had to put in place, including putting his family into the system that he actually siphoned money. Nobody's saying that Theodore Orji did not actually do something while he was in office, but the question here is that supposed to be a prerequisite for someone who is in office to actually siphon money?
Thank you very much. But before we proceed, I would like the correction to be made.
Okay.
That is not Uzor-Kalu.
All right.
It's still showing there, so that it will not mean that we are discussing a different person.
Okay.
I know it's a technical error,
okay,
so they should correct it as quickly as possible. Now, having said that, so the public should be aware that the subject of discussion this morning is not about the Reverend Senator Uzor-Kalu.
Theodore Orji.
Rather, it is the former governor and also former senator, His Excellency Senator Theodore Orji. While we've made that correction, I would like to say very quickly that the amount that has been alleged and traced to the former governor, His Excellency Senator Theodore Orji, is too, I don't want to say hilarious, it's too outrageous, it's too much. for such a money to be traced as being unused.
Okay.
That's where my worriedness comes from. Because if such a money was plugged into the economy, into the infrastructural, provisions of Abia states in tourism, in security, in different areas of that beloved state, I think the achievements of the former governor would have been more laudable.
Okay.
And I equally think that the impact of his governance would have been more on the people of Abia State. And I think that his testament or testimony would have been more better. But in any case, we are not here to say he is guilty or not guilty, because the matter is still pending in a competent court of law. And like the EFCC has rightly said, that the essence of the freezing of that account and confiscation is to preserve that money. Now,
you made mention of him being guilty of not guilty. We can do a quick background check. This incident has actually been going on since last year, and in this instance, and last year January, he actually they got an account from a particular bank, which I will not mention here, and they had someone that takes different customers' accounts to distribute this money.
Well,
and it was traced back to him because we have bank statements.
No. It's not a challenge.
Okay, because you said he could be guilty or not guilty.
Of course.
Proving in court.
No.
But there are alleged confirmation about the incident.
You see, when you alleged, he who alleged must prove. And the evidences that you bring before the courts, at the point of your allegation, the court can admit it as part of your own evidence. But the person in question has the rights, constitutional rights, to make a defense, to prove that the evidences before the court was misinformed or they are not valid. So because they have brought evidence does not mean conviction. In matters, people can forge, people can create evidence. So it doesn't matter the sources of their evidences. So we are waiting as Nigerians who have respect and who think that our leaders most times are not what people have alleged them to be. So we want to see the former governor of Abia State being exonerated. Now, my own worriedness is that the money tracing to him that is not being used, if those money are still there, and which I think they are, because the EFCC has confirmed that those money are, the court order is for them to preserve that money so that their account will not be touched, so that those money will be intact. Okay. So we expect the Reverend Senator and then his counsel, that's his lawyers, will come up by his own testimonies and the provisions of explanation how that money and why those disbursement was made. So not the fact that because you receive a credit alert from the directive of His Excellency through an account agent to you does not mean that it is fraudulent. So I think he is going to explain to the court the intentions of those money. So if the intentions were for projects that were not executed.
If they were for projects, I'm sure there are accounts that have been designated for particular cases like that.
No,
if there are projects, you will not have to go through corners to put these monies in the account.
No, you see,
I made mention of the fact where these funds were distributed amongst different accounts of customers from a particular bank. So if you want to use those funds for projects, you will not distribute them. You would have an account that has been designated for that particular project.
No, you see, the point here is when we talk about projects, we talk about programs. We are here in this country where politicians, philanthropists most times, they want to reach out to their constituents. They want to reach out to people that they want to help financially. They will ask you to open an account. Everybody in a particular bank is done. So I do not want to hold brief for His Excellency.
Okay.
I do not also want to hold brief for EFCC because the matter is in court. So my own prayer and my humble request and desire is that at the end of the day, let it be that the allegation against His Excellency was not completely true. So, but I want to also feel that I may not completely be surprised, because if this kind of resources in trillions, right, where like I said, in millions, if this chunk of money was even put in one of the projects in Abia, because before now the roads in Abia, internal roads, are being seen to be very, very dilapidated, which I think this kind of resources, for whatsoever reason, if it was used for such an occasion, it would have been better. But I'd like to know, which we are waiting, because the matter is in court, and I'm sure the former governor is going to place a defense. And unless he appears in court and said he's guilty, then we now know that the allegation against him is the way it has been alleged.